500 watching points. Watching point number 121. Watch lest you go from fear to the fear of fear, to the point of being afraid of fear itself. This warning covers a strange phenomenon that has arisen in Christian Science due to a misapprehension of the right way to handle fear. The scientific way is to expose the fact that you have nothing to fear, and nothing to fear with, rather than to try to dispose of the fear, believing that if you do not, the fear may result in some unpleasant manifestation. All fear is based on the belief that man has an existence apart from God. When this belief appears in human consciousness in some threatening way, it produces that unpleasant emotion called fear. Fear is not the result of something, but something is the result of fear. If one does not understand the deception connected with this mesmerism, he may become afraid of being afraid, even after he has sought to establish the fact that evil has no power and is nothing to fear. There are mothers who, upon learning that it is their fear that is expressed in their child when it is ill, become afraid of being afraid for their little ones. In more than one instance, this anxiety has been augmented by unwise practitioners who say to the mother, "Now you must not be afraid for your child, since it is your fear that is making your child sick." This does not help the mother to overcome her fear of being afraid, but often increases it. One loving practitioner endeavored to meet this dilemma for a mother with a sick child by saying to her, "Go ahead and be just as scared for your child as you can be, but do not believe that such an attitude on your part can touch a child of God. Do not even for a moment give your fear the power to touch or harm your child, or to have any effect whatsoever, since it has none." In one instance, this method enabled the mother to destroy her fear completely. The baby robin is not afraid in its nest, but it is filled with fear when the mother pushes it out, even though she remains right at hand to protect it. We must handle fear on the basis of God's ever-present care, as Elisha did in 2 Kings 6, verse 16, when he declared, "They that be with us are more than they that be with them." This realization opens the way for the next step, namely, to know as a scientific fact that you have nothing against you, since God is all. As you take the footsteps leading to the destruction of fear, it is necessary to watch lest you give fear power of itself, believing that, if you once let it in, it can rob you of the infinite care of God. Sometimes it is helpful to declare, "Go ahead, mortal mind, and be just as afraid as you want to be, but you cannot touch me or rob me of God's protection and care, nor can you make me believe that I have been so robbed. I am not afraid. I do not believe God has made me capable of being frightened. I am man, and man cannot fear any more than God can." The following words in regard to fear are attributed to our beloved leader. Quote, "Do not fear your sense of fear. It is nothing. We are as safe as omnipotent God. God's idea absolutely cannot fear. He knows there is just one mind. Is he going to use that mind to fear with? Is he living in God and still afraid? Is there anything outside of or beyond God? Is there anything inside God to fear? God made all and proclaimed it good. Fear is godless, mindless, powerless, not included in consciousness. Fear cannot act on mortal mind, body, understanding, does not manifest self either as subjective or objective, not mine or anybody's. And if I seem to fear, it is not my fear or anxiety and doesn't make any difference. God isn't afraid. My treatment isn't afraid. A Christian Science treatment dissipates all the supposititious presence, power, law of fear. Fear is a fake belief within a fake belief, without cause, effect, or continuity. End quote.